Cheers. Welcome to Cocktail Hour at the Coop. Liz from Arrow Acres, my sister Leanne. We're at my house in the backyard across the street from our parents' alpaca farm, Arrow Acres Alpaca Farm.
Good job.
Thank you. It's been a while.
It has been a while because you were away.
We were all away.
Oh, I was away. You were away, but you went on a real trip. I just went away for a little bit.
Real trip. Like a real trip.
Like a grown-up trip.
Grown-up trip. Yep. Not to our regular place. So we went to Glacier National Park, we went to Yellowstone National Park, and we went to the Grand Teton National Park.
And you didn't get eaten by a bear.
We didn't even see a bear.
Andy saw a bear.
No kidding.
They were away. She's away in Utah. I'm in Brantine.
No, I was not in Utah. I was in Montana and Wyoming.
And our sister Andy was in New Hampshire camping, and she had a bear in her campground, and she was sending pictures of bears. You were like, oh, we just missed a bear.
We did. We missed a bear in Yellowstone, bear with her cubs by like 30 minutes, and a pack of wolves by like literally a minute.
I was on the beach. There was no bears where I was.
You know, the only bear I've ever seen was in New Jersey at the Delaware Water Gap. Oh, the only bear I've ever
There's
seen.
bears around here right now, they say.
Yes, in Shark River Park. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about my trip. So if anybody is thinking about going to Glacier, I loved our Airbnb so much. So if you're thinking about going, send me a message and I'll send you the details for the Airbnb. We were less than 10 minutes from the entrance of the park. It was a private little cabin. The property did have another Airbnb cabin. We never even saw the people. I believe that cabin may have been nicer because it was like right on the river. We had a little quick walk to the river. And then there was like a main house, I guess, where the people live. Never saw them. And then there was a barn with 2 horses, and the fence was like right behind our cabin and on the side. So we had horses every day, and it was really nice. And if you've ever been to Glacier and you've done a float trip, not the whitewater rafting, but a float trip at the west entrance, you end at the Blankenship Bridge. We were right there. So that's right where our cabin was. And it was really nice. And then we did a day, we were there a couple nights. We went down by Flathead Lake, and we swam in Flathead Lake, and then we stayed by where Sassy Karen lives.
And you sent me a picture. You're like, she used to live on that mountain.
There. And then we did we went to West Yellowstone, and then we did the lower loop in a day, which I would recommend more than a day. I wasn't excited about Yellowstone because I hated it as a kid, but
yes,
I was
you
5.
Did. And hot and tired and cranky.
So don't trust your 5-year-old self's opinion of Yellowstone is what I learned.
That's like fishing for me now. I hated fishing as a kid, and now I like it.
Yeah, so I loved Yellowstone. Hayden Valley was our favorite part of Yellowstone. We did also really love the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. It was like dizzying when you looked down how steep it was, but we hiked down to the lower falls and then back up, and my knee held up. Did great on all of our hikes. We did tons of hiking. Like I had like 25,000 steps on many days.
Wow.
And my knee was fine. Yeah.
Good
awesome.
PT.
Yeah. So I kicked.
Good surgeon and good PT.
Yeah. So I was very happy. And then we ended up at Jenny Lake Lodge at the Grand Tetons, and that was with my husband's family, his parents and one of his brothers and a friend of his, and we had a lovely time at Jenny Lake Lodge. If you've ever been there, you know the food is fantastic. So we had like a big breakfast every day, and then no lunch because you didn't need it, and then a 5-course dinner every night. And we were back by like 4 every day, and then at 4 o'clock they had like things on the Great Lawn, which literally was the size of my backyard, but they had like bubbles and badminton, so it was champagne and badminton. And then we had craft beers and cornhole and wine and wickets, so the kids learned how to play croquet.
Everything has to rhyme.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was really fun. So we enjoyed that, and that was a nice treat. My in-laws treated us to that, so if you have been there and you know
what it costs.
We did not pay for that portion of the trip. My in-laws treated us for their 50th anniversary, so that was really nice. And yeah, it was great.
This is what I realized while you were away. that I text you stupid stuff all day long, and I couldn't when you were away.
I had no service.
Didn't realize. I'd be like, I'm not gonna send it to her. Oh, well, she would like, no, I can't send it to her. I was like, when are you on the grid? And then when you text, I'm like, oh, she has Wi-Fi. I'm like, and this, because I wanted to know everything, and I wanted to see all the pictures, and I wanted to know if it was fun, like everything.
And even
it
half
was
the time, like,
oh, it's driving me nuts.
So when we were in Glacier, we only had service at the cabin because we had Wi-Fi there. And then we had it in a hotel. But anytime we were in the car, nothing. There's no service out there at all.
How did you know where you were going?
I did screenshots.
Very smart.
While we were in the hotel. But the navigation did work. So like maps work differently.
Good. I did. So we had to go to Massachusetts for my son's orientation, and there's a lot of different ways that you can go. And it's very confusing. And when you're if you say you want to go one way, but your GPS is like, no, there's another route, it'll keep rerouting you, and I didn't want that to happen. So I printed out like old school Google Maps.
Bing?
Yeah, and I
No, what was it called? Was it Bing Maps? What was it called? Mapster?
MapQuest.
No. MapQuest.
So I come home with it, and Rick goes, you know those funny progressive, Dr. Rick.
Don't be your parents.
And Rick goes, we didn't need to print the internet. What did you do? Well, I don't know. And they're like, oh my God, you keep talking about which way we're going to go and all this stuff. And Dalton's like, did you seriously print the directions? I'm like, I did. I don't like that I don't have a drink right now. It's really bothering me. But I don't have anything. And it's not, I'm going to drive. Oh, well, it's just weird. Which is probably bad. I can smell your fear.
Well, I have to tell you. So we had such a fabulous trip. And the night we got to Jenny Lake Lodge, I just had an uneasy feeling, and I was like, that's weird. And the next morning, I was like, I thought maybe it was because I ate like 5-course dinner. Like, no, I had it before I got here, and I was like, I think it was just I wanted everybody to get along. Sometimes there's a little like this, and I wanted everybody to get along, and there was a lot of like planning with other people, and I like to plan what we're doing because Nick doesn't think about what we're doing. So
he just does
somebody has to do it for us, but I don't want to do it for other people who might not want to do what we want to do. And I was like, I think the anxiety of that. And then the next morning we woke up and we went on a float trip in the Grand Tetons, which was a totally different float trip. So I don't know if I told you this. In Glacier, everybody had a paddle, but in the Grand Tetons, it was like a giant rubber rowboat, and the man in the middle had 2 giant oars and just and we just sat there and drank and ate and looked at wildlife. And when we were on the boat, I finally relaxed, and I said, finally I relaxed. He goes, is it because you had a beer? I was like, no, because I waited like an hour and a half into the float trip, and as soon as we got on that boat, I was like, I'm relaxed now. And I was like, okay.
That's what it was. It's that there's other people.
It was the anxiety of other
people. Yeah. Yes, because you know what to expect with you guys, and you never know what to expect with people that you were with.
Yes,
And you had the other thing with Chris not being able to come, and there was a lot of stuff. So I'm sure that's what it was.
Yep, I think that's all it was. So it took me a little while to relax, but the road. So when we go to Vermont, which is our like normal destination all year round, Parkway, I'm like a psychopath. Like the cars, I'm like,
she's fun to drive with. Yes, that's what she does too.
So I have learned that I can't read in the car. I can't look at my phone in the car. I feel sick, so I can crochet in the car. Right? So I bring my stuff, and now I'm fine. So we've got the Parkway, Thruway, it's straight. Once we get off the Thruway into like Albany, or, past Albany, I can't do anything anymore because the roads get kind of little like this, right? So I brought lots of yarn with me. I brought some embroidery with me. Yep, I sat like this in the car the whole time. Because the roads are like this. Even the big highways are like. I was like, I can't look down.
Oh, so Garrett's done with work. You know what?
We'll pause it.
We're going to pause and then I can drink. I have to go pick up Garrett. I'll be back.
Yes, yes. Okay, we're back. It's darker. I had to turn some lights on. We had to adjust a little bit. The boys, I think, will be back kind of soon-ish.
But I have a drink.
Now we can really cheers.
Ooh, big bug.
Halfway through cheers. Okay.
So
trips are done. Let's finish that.
Yeah. All right.
Scoop it out.
So, well, I'll talk about, I went to Massachusetts, and if you follow me on Instagram, you saw my trip. We ended up dropping my son off in Amherst for his orientation, and then we had to stay overnight. So we went to Northampton, which I'd never been to, which I absolutely fell in love with the town.
Bug.
And Paige and I decided that when we get married, that's where we're gonna live. So, of course, Webb's is there. I was aware that Webb's was there, but I had my husband with me, and I was
Webb's
like,
in Northampton?
oh yeah, I could have walked there from my hotel. When I Googled, okay, this is what happened. I'm like, I'm not gonna make him go to a yarn store. You know, he's here, we're not gonna go to the yarn store. But we were having a lovely time, and I got comment after comment on Instagram. I probably had 35 comments. You went to Webb's, right? You know you're where Webb's is? I'm like, Rick. He goes, I'll go. I don't mind going. I'm like, I think we need to go to Webb's.
Do they have a husband chair?
He liked the husband chair so much, he made me come sit in it, and he wanted to ask the lady where they got the chair so we could have one at home.
So I used to work at a jewelry store, sterling silver, semi-precious stones, and we had 2 husband chairs. The second you walked in.
That's where they were. But you know, he goes,
it was wonderful.
He goes, I paid.
Keeps them happy while the ladies look.
So I paid, and then we're leaving, and he goes, Lee, come here. I go, what? And he was like into it. He was really, really like, this is cool. Wow, look at this, look at that. And he's like, sit in that chair. I go, what? He's like, this is the best chair I've ever sat in.
I used to get asked nonstop where our man chairs were from.
That's funny. So anyway, I went to Webb's. I'd never been there before. Those of you, a lot of you that watch have been there. It's America's yarn store. So when you get there, and I knew what it looked like from the outside because I follow on Instagram, it is a warehouse, like behind the town. Mm-hmm. It's just, you know, so you go in, and in the front, it's a yarn shop looking thing, but it's not like, you know, when you walk into like Paige's or like a local yarn shop, you have that like cozy feeling. It's not like that. And I didn't expect, it's exactly what I expected. And I'm looking through, I'm like, it's really cool. And my husband was kind of into it, which is strange to me, but he was like, oh, this is neat, that's neat. And in my head, I thought, I'm going to buy yarn for my students because I like their brand of yarn, and I bought their wool to make sweaters. It's fairly inexpensive. So I thought, I'm going to buy their yarn there. But so I was looking through, I'm like, it's still like not cheap. I was in my head, I'm thinking like discount, it's yarn. Then I saw the doors where the warehouse is, and I was like, oh.
And so shelves and
shelves. Aisles.
Is it by color? It's by yarn type, by weight.
But the cool thing is,
and then by color, within the weight, I would think.
Yeah, yeah, brands. So like they'll have their brands, they'll have, but.
Watch that cord.
It was really cool to be in a spot where literally every yarn that you can think of is there. Even like the high-end stuff, the regular stuff, it's all there. And the ladies that are shopping for you online, like you made your order, they've got their basket, they've got your order, and they're like shopping and doing, they've ladies in the back. That was pretty neat. So I found there's Grandpa's Garage in the back, and it's called, and it's all discounted, super discounted. So I got some nice yarn for my students, and it was marked down to $250 for a big scheme. So I got those for them, and that's all I was going to buy. I wasn't going to buy anything else because I didn't have anything in mind, and I wasn't there to buy yarn really. So I had that, and then I was looking around, and then I found this yarn. And how do you not buy this yarn?
And oh yes,
this
I saw it on Instagram.
This is their brand, and it's the Amherst. That's where my son's going to college. So I was like, because he's the one that I was like, do you want me to make you a college quilt? You don't have to. You want me to make you something? You don't have to. So I'm making him a hat. And
he'll wear a hat.
It's 100% merino. Feel it.
Oh,
isn't it
it's
so nice? So I'm just doing a 2x2 rib for him in a dark gray. That's part of the college color. They're like a maroon and gray. So I have that on the needle. So, and I don't think I showed him. I also bought another yarn because my husband picked it out, and he was like, this is really cool, and it's your colors. So I was like, I feel like I have to buy it. I didn't bring it with me because I wasn't thinking that.
And our lighting is
kind
so
of
off
Feederbrook-ish.
Oh, nice.
And then they had a discount yarn. It was like a small, like made in Maine mill, and it was my golden yellow,
Yep.
and there was a shawl that was really pretty, so I took a picture of it, and so I thought I could make
Do
that.
you know the name of the pattern?
No, but when I start it, maybe we'll talk about it. So that's what I got. I didn't get a lot, but it was fun. I'm glad I went. It was exactly what I expected. But the town was really cool. Loved it.
And then, do you have any other makes?
Mm-hmm.
I have got faux.
Oh,
I apologize for the bugs because they're attracted to the light that I have on right now.
Yeah, well, I have two whips. I'm teaching again.
I got no whips.
I have a lot. I'm teaching.
I have whips, but you've seen them where they're old or they're boring. So,
So I'm teaching again, which has been great. I have beginners, which is fun to make knitters in the world. But I had a woman, Nancy, who I taught years ago. And with COVID and everything, we haven't seen each other. And she wanted to learn. She wrote to me and said there's little things she wanted to learn. Like she can't get the make one right and make one left. She was getting holes. And she wanted to learn mosaic knitting, and she wanted to learn sock knitting. And I was like, okay, let's just pick a time that's good for you, and I'll figure out something to teach you make one right and left. And I thought, The Shift by Andrea Mowry. I've never made it before. And I texted Paige, my girlfriend Paige. She does a lot of mosaic knitting. And she said, as I had already figured I was going to do the shift, because I already bought the pattern. I had it years ago.
Yeah.
Joan made it, and I was going to make it with her, so I had the pattern. So I printed out, and so we cast it on together, and I'm obsessed. And I take it everywhere I go. And I wrote to Nancy, how's your shift? She's like, very slow. But it had make one right, make one left, and mosaic.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, you can see it.
The color's pretty accurate.
It is
even
really
it's
accurate.
Really, it's pitch black out pretty much.
It's really accurate. Okay, so the pink is my Green Mountain Spinnery.
That was your last project.
For my flower one. The green is Cascade Alpaca from the farm I had left over. And this is my first time ever working with Cedarbrook. And oh my
Are you enjoying
God,
it?
I love it. It's exactly the color it is. That's exactly what it looks like.
Isn't it so fun to work with?
Love it. So it's like a spin cycle, I guess, but
it's
cheaper.
Just like spin cycle.
But look at it. Don't you love it? It's neat construction. So like, it's going to be seamed in the back.
Yeah, and so like what I made like a
hold my other side out. Hold that.
Version.
Now I'm starting to decrease. So that will be,
yes.
And then they get seamed.
Yes, and then guess what? You just
wear
it to the side.
I love it.
It's not like a funky construction. You just wear it to the side.
So I don't know why it took me so long to make one of these, but it's really good
awesome.
Travel.
It's gonna be so
it's
good
not
for Rhinebeck
fast.
too.
I know.
Such great colors for Rhinebeck.
I love it. And I don't really have a Rhinebeck sweater.
And it goes with
everything.
sweater that you've ever made because
I thought with jean jacket. But I don't really have a Rhinebeck sweater, which is totally I'm panicking because by now I have a Rhinebeck sweater going. But I have my I have my Cowboy and Angels shawl, the purple one, and I have I have that. But I have this on the getting there.
Yeah, this will be a Rhinebeck sweater.
Yeah, but I feel like this is like not impressive.
What's this? This is the milkweed, right?
No, I already made a milkweed.
That was what's this one?
A Nash by Jennifer Steingess.
So I'm gonna say that if anybody's joining in on our summer make along, any Jennifer Steingess sweater
counts because it looks like flowers.
Because they're all flowery. Garden Gate, somebody's doing Garden Gate. The milkweed.
Yeah,
you don't.
That's
have
not
to
hers.
Do a big.
I did a milkweed. That's not her.
Milkweed isn't her.
No.
They all look the same.
This is pretty.
It's very pretty, but it's not impressive.
It's not impressive. Like I feel like Rhinebeck's like a show off.
I haven't worked on my sweater since I hurt my knee in March.
Why?
I don't know.
You had no mojo?
Yes,
Mojo gone?
I'm on Body Island, if that's a thing. Like I did the yoke and now I'm like, oh, same stitch.
Oh, Body Island? Like Sleeve Island?
Instead of Sleeve Island, because I still have to do those too.
Yeah, maybe. So this is what I'm thinking, because I did panic. And when I was knew I was going to Webb's, then I was like, we were eating breakfast, and I was like,
patterns.
Yeah, but I'm like,
patterns.
But do you remember the ribbon I bought? I showed you in Maryland.
Ribbon
that I bought from the Toads, Toad Hollow, and it looks like Norway, kind of Scandinavianish, and it's like an orangey. It's like my colors. I bought it. I'm singing for a steak inside, and I was gonna like base it on that, but I find that I do not wear cardigans anymore because I'm so fat.
Size.
I'm so fat right here.
The middle.
I cover it, so if I make my pullovers, like my honey, wool and honey. I wear all this. It hides this.
We gotta hide.
I have a lot of that.
So I thought like the second I got home, I was like, I'm gonna be so healthy. Yep, nope. But it's been like,
you're still on vacation.
I'm still on vacation mode.
Aww, so fun.
I'm still on vacation mode. So nope. The diet still hasn't begun. I'm at winter weight right now. I'm at like middle of winter. Yeah, but you had
knee surgery. That's different. You can't exercise.
You know, and I'm really disappointed. I go to physical therapy 3 times a week. I'm there at least an hour and a half. I work my butt off. I'm dripping sweat. I'm like, I have sweat in embarrassing places, and then they're lifting my legs to stretch me. And I'm like, oh, I didn't pee myself, I promise. I'm just sweaty. I know this is gross and TMI. But some of you know,
they're doctors,
right?
They don't care.
It's still embarrassing. It's still embarrassing. And I said to them, like, before I left, I was like, you guys, you're working out 3 days a week. I haven't lost any weight. And they're like,
you're not
low impact.
You're not really working.
You're not doing anything. I'm like, but I'm sweating.
Well, I got my steps in this month. Well, no, I have one more day, but I really didn't. Lightning bug is on your phone. My Apple Watch, when I'm knitting, thinks I'm walking.
So I had one day with like almost 30,000 steps because I was riding a horse and it thought I was stepping. But I got...
Take it.
But I had 13,000 steps before I got on that horse. So I was like, it's cool.
So when we were in Amherst, we went to Northampton and we walked everywhere. We just parked our car and never got in the car again until we were leaving. That's my favorite thing. My husband and I are so good in little towns.
Yeah,
like,
no, we are not.
We are at our best.
And he goes in stores with you and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we love it. We give us a little New England, especially like Saratoga, cool restaurants. If I can park my car and walk everywhere, we are awesome.
Oh, we like that too, but no stores. We like trees.
I like trees too, but we went to Smith College and we went to their botanical garden and that was beautiful. And they're like, I don't know, that was a fancy college. Like small, liberal. It used to be all female and I don't know if it still is, but beautiful, beautiful area. That was the other end of Northampton. But anyway, we walked a lot. I did get steps. So that's what I'm working on for knitting.
I've been making things, but I haven't been working with yarn. So
well, it's kind of like yarn,
yeah.
Just little yarn.
Someone passed away and left their...
I was like, who? Never mind.
Left their whole stash, which is
like a store.
Unfathomable how much stuff it was, to a member of our guild. So that member wrote, it was in March, right before I went away with my knee, that if anybody wants to come get stuff, they can get stuff, or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it was when I had my surgery. I don't know. I couldn't go. She was a weaver, and then she was a knitter, and that kind of a weaver, not a person, not their last name, and all sorts of stuff. So
I'm very glad you're home, by the way. Sorry, I really missed you. I was very happy for you. I was like, I'm just having a great time. I'm like, it's like my friend is gone. I mean, I know you're my sister, but I'm like, I think she's my best friend. No one else wants to hear anything I have to talk about. But yeah, anyway, sorry. Yeah, I interrupted.
So I wrote to Mary and I'm like, Mary, you said that there was a lot of DMC floss for embroidery, right? She's like, look at that beetle on my phone. And she goes, yes, but my sister has it. And she's in Bricktown. I was like, perfect. I have a doctor's appointment in Brick the day before I leave for my trip. It was 10 minutes from the doctor's appointment. She has it in a storage place. That's how much there is.
Did she have a store?
She has a storage unit. So
no, like a store.
The lady with the stuff. No, but so I walk in and it's the official DMC cabinets, drawers that are like 2 rows deep with like what, like 8 across the front. You know what it looks like. Everybody, if they're wood, they're clear drawers. Yes. The kids are going to come up and it's going to get loud in a second. So, bug. So, the sister that I'm meeting that I don't know was so nice. It's like so nice. She goes, do not take one of each color. Grab handfuls. She goes, do you have a bag in your car? I'm like, I have like a reusable grocery bag. She goes, you'll need at least that much. my reusable grocery bag, which was a big one, was 3/4 of the way full of DMC thread.
Hi guys. They were out fishing.
Probably caught like 10.
Awesome.
They've been fishing in the backyard.
That's
Good job.
They were away, and my mom and I shared duty with the dogs, and we stayed here. And her pond is right there. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw I was on the pond every night with Chase. And those bass, they just come poop, poop, poop.
So my kids, we're getting away from the DMC floss now. My kids, every time we go away, I want to go fishing, I want to go fishing, I want to go fishing. I'm like, nowhere is as good as our backyard.
Yeah.
You will never have as much fun fishing anywhere in the world as our backyard. And we don't have one type of fish in our backyard. We've got a gazillion types of fish in our backyard. So
hi guys.
Have fun? Excellent. Love it.
Okay.
See?
All right, back to the floss.
So anyway, so I meet with this woman. So the woman that had passed away worked for DMC, was like a sales rep or something, and gave classes out of her home.
Cool.
So she
probably had like a discount on everything, or got it for free.
It was unreal. And she goes, I can't tell you how much I've already given away.
Wow.
She was like, and she gave me like a little like clear, it wasn't a DMC, but like a little clear like
yeah, you showed me.
tote with the 3 drawers to even put stuff in. So I still have to organize. But so I have been embroidering, and these will be available. I'm getting ready for like the fall and winter at the farm store. So I got these awesome tote bags. They have a nice little pocket inside, right? Like nice size pocket.
Oh, I think you showed. Oh, we did it
No,
on our
we
Patreon.
did it on our Patreon.
We forget. We talk to our patrons.
So I'm gonna show you guys. So this was one of them. All right.
You should do one with mountains, like for your trip.
I am. So wait.
Oh,
so I did these before I went away. That one and this one before I went away. And then I planned a yellow bag.
For me?
No, not just that. So
Andy bought me this shirt. So everybody knows it's my color.
planned this bag before we went away. And I wanted to do daisies on
Oh, it looks like where you were, like in the fields.
Glacier National Park is covered in daisies.
That's a good dog name.
Daisy. She wants a puppy. So, and then these were these flowers that I kept seeing everywhere while we were there.
It's beautiful.
And they were, I think they were called Mountain Heather, the little pink ones. Oh. So I did those with it too, but.
That's beautiful.
But I actually did it when I got home.
Hello. Are you going to keep that or are you going to sell it?
Nope, they're all for sale.
That one's really
I love
pretty.
them all.
Oh, they smell like fish. That's really, really pretty.
And they're a nice size tote bag too. I mean,
yeah.
Like, and it's a good little.
And so now around here, you
behind the pocket.
No stores give you bags anymore. I don't know wherever you guys live in the world.
So we have a no plastic bag.
So you always
in
have.
New Jersey now.
So I have my reusable grocery bags, but now I keep 2 fabric tote bags. I can fold them up real good in my purse every day. So if I'm at like Rite Aid or Walmart, because then you don't have food stuff in it. And I used my New Jersey Wool Walk one that Paige gave me, and another one. So
so
I don't want to squish the bug on the nice bags.
So I'm gonna fold those back up. So that's what I have been making lately.
Pretty.
And then I have like a bunch of wristlets I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do some stuff on my Cricut with the iron on, and do some fun things.
Very pretty.
So I'm working on that kind of stuff. So I have the Etsy shop is in vacation mode because I was away. But it'll be listed again. Basically right now all it has is like some of the yarns from the fall from the farm and just a couple hand dyed. I have to start dyeing. It's like really
hot and sweaty.
I think we're glowing.
Okay, so I have to talk about reading books.
I have listened to many good books lately too, so I have some input.
I have not been in the mood to read real books all summer. I just want to
talking. I'm turning the bug zapper on now. Sunny's probably gonna bark, but we'll see. Okay. Reading books. Go ahead.
Okay, so I've been reading they're so easy.
Oh, I read so many of those. And listen.
And you know what? I used to be like, oh, I love it. Well, the one was really cheesy. Remember that Mulberry Hill?
Mulberry Hollow.
It was like worse than Hallmark.
It was so bad.
So I put it on my Instagram. So you may have already seen this, but I have to say it again. Nora Goes Off Script.
And it's available on Libby for me.
Was probably one of my very favorite books I've ever read. And because I like the Hallmark Channel. And I know that's cheesy. This book is about a woman who's a writer for the Romance Channel. It is the Hallmark movie. She basically makes $25,000 every time she writes a script that has, she goes, I pick a place, I pick a thing. Like they're making fun of the Hallmark Channel. Like how the thing, and then the girl comes back and then she has to go back to her real life and she misses the small town and comes back to the town pie contest, you know, and she makes her living this way.
Nope.
She lives up by Rhinebeck.
Maybe they'll go to that light instead of our light now.
Okay, well, whatever. So she lives up by Rhinebeck in like an old farmhouse. She has a husband who like brings nothing to the table. She's got 2 little kids. He decides to leave. She was like, okay. Like she's the only one that makes money. He does nothing. He just has all these grand ideas and he just leaves. So she's fine with it. So she decides to write a script. This all happens in the first 3 pages. She writes a script about her husband leaving and not romance. There's so many bugs. Not Hallmarky at all.
We can't. We have to like wrap this up.
Okay, but I gotta talk about my favorite book.
I know, but we need to like. We are very buggy.
Okay,
like getting in.
Okay.
Okay.
But listen,
I got the bugs up on the
so.
other light on.
Do you hear them all? That's probably mean. Sorry if you're offended by the bugs we're killing. So Hollywood buys the script and they decide to film the last like 3 days at her actual house. Okay, so she's like, okay. So this actor, the cute actor, who I totally picture as Kevin Pearson from This Is Us, like 100%. She has a porch where she can see the sunrise. She's like up on a mountain, and she wakes up and he's like on his porch swing. He never went back with like the crew, and he's having like a crisis, and you know how it goes. But the big joke is that she writes for this Hallmark movie and she's like, no, like it's so cheesy. But he just hangs out. She's like, okay, well I have to like pick up my kids at school and I have to go to the grocery store. And he's like, I'll go with you. Because he can't like buy his own groceries. Yeah. And he lives like the regular life. And it's so good. And it doesn't go how you thought. Like you think like, oh, it's gonna go like this. It doesn't. And then you're surprised. And then you're like, oh, but it's not cheesy. It's well written. It's not cheesy.
Oh, Mulberry Hill.
That was beyond cheesy.
Oh. And if I was reading the book, I would not have been able to read it because I listened to it while I was like grocery shopping. I could listen to it.
Yeah, and this guy lives in like the back house, which is like Mulberry Hill too, but it's like the opposite of Mulberry Hill. So anyway, Nora goes off script. It's her first adult debut novel. She's a young author, young, whatever. YA. Yeah. Anyway, I loved it. You have to watch it. I mean, read it. I have a bug in my mind. So that's that.
I listened to Where'd You Go, Bernadette?
I love
and
that.
I love the woman's voice who reads it. She was great. I listened on Libby. And then I read by reading, let's see, I haven't listened to that many. I listened to the Tattoos of Auschwitz.
Wait, that is an amazing narrator.
I didn't know that it was a true story until it was over, so
that
welcome
book, I remember I was driving to a job for work and I cried in my car.
It is so good.
The narrator is so talented.
It's so sad and so good.
There's other ones too. Silka's Journey, I've never read. That's the next one.
Oh, I'm good. I'm putting it on my list.
And I haven't read it yet. And then I just read for our book club 28 Summers by Ellen Hildebrand.
Yes, I listened to a different one.
I didn't love it, but
Did
the
you
girls
listen
are.
to the other one I listened to?
I don't know which one did you listen to.
She has like 7,000 books.
Garrett is here. Where are you? He didn't know I went and picked him up.
Oh.
Rick. She has 1 million books, and I've read some of hers and I like them. Didn't love 28 Summers, but the girls seem to be liking it, so that's okay.
I'm on the Libby wait list, and I looked it in. I'm like 7 weeks out, so I'm not going to make it for book club, but that's okay. I'll come talk about something else.
I listened to it, and I also wonder if I would have liked it more if I read it.
Oh.
I may have liked it more if I actually read it.
All right, so now if you are joining in on our summer make-along, and if you don't know what we're talking about, we just did a little fun make-along for the summer, Labor Day, or Memorial Day to Labor Day. Make something flower-themed. Post it on Instagram or on Ravelry. Did you do a thing?
Yes, I did.
On Ravelry, so go on. It just has to be flower-themed. It doesn't have to have a flower in it. It could be like their name or whatever. And if you want to listen to some books or read a book while you're doing it, Follow Marigolds was fantastic. Like flower themes, right? So the woman on the
Flowers in the Attic.
Yes, Flowers in the Attic. I sat on the plane with a lady in the morning. I let Nick sit with the kids on that side, and I sat on this side.
That was like a vacation in itself.
I sat next to this really nice lady, and she was on a girls' getaway weekend with her college roommates, and they're all turning 50 this year.
Oh,
so they did like a weekend in Jackson Hole. And
we should do that when I turn 50.
it was awesome.
Rick said he'd take me.
Stupid expensive.
Rick said he'd take me to
She
Scotland.
said they were all shocked at how expensive it was.
When I turn 50, he's going to take me to Scotland. We're going to go to like knitting places.
Anyway,
castles.
she had Lilac Girls in her hand, and I said, is that any good? She goes, I just started it, but it's a series of 3. And she said, everyone I've talked to has loved it. And it's on Libby for me. Libby is different for everybody depending on your library, right? So I keep saying for me, but that's why I'm saying that. Our library does have it available. It's set in World War II, and that's what Fall Marigolds was also. And I love that. That was World War II.
Yeah, but that's different.
That wasn't
World War II.
No. I read something else that was World War II.
Alice Network?
I didn't read Alice Network.
It wasn't Fall Marigolds.
Well, Tetons of Auschwitz was World War II, but that was different. I just read something else that was World War II. What was it? The house and the soldier lives with them?
Nightingale.
Nightingale.
For anyone that reads, I have a blog, believe it or not. I don't know why I do it, but no, I think Purple Debbie reads it and some lady named Kathy reads it, and that's it. Everyone used to read it, but that was before Instagram.
Yeah.
So I have a blog, arrowacresfarm.blogspot.com, and just yesterday, I saw a thing on Pinterest, I'm on Facebook.
I'll put a link on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm on a Facebook page.
Look that, I like it.
That is called What Should I Read Next? And I really like the page. I get a lot of good ideas. So they put a book challenge for 2022, which there was 50 books. I'm like, I can't do that. So I started looking at it and I was like, I could fill this in almost completely with ideas. So I did. And I put links in every single one. So like the first one was like a book with the color in the name. I picked The Yellow Wife, which was, read that. So I went through and I did all that. So if you're a reader and you're looking for books, and I only put books that I recommend. I didn't put anything I didn't like in there. So yeah, link that when you're editing.
I'll link that.
I almost brought my computer. I was like, oh, I don't have to do that anymore. No. She does that now.
It's summertime and Nick's computer's always home. Yep.
All right.
Okay,
so I think that's it. All right. So if you want to join our Patreon, you always can.
And patrons, we need to set our second knit night, which will have to be next week.
Yes.
So we're going to put a post up. So please check it and comment what day and time works best for you. And
yeah, for those of you that don't know, if you're new to us, we have a Patreon page. And we have 2 nights a month where we do virtual. We originally said like one would be short and one would be long. They're both long.
They're both long. One is kind of shorter. One we try to say like an hour, hour and a half, and the other one usually
just
goes
like goes. We just keep going, and we have a lot of fun people. And happy belated birthday to Judy. She had a birthday. She was one of our patrons who always makes us laugh. So it's a nice group. So you should join us. We're a lot of fun.
It is fun.
And we learn about like all different parts of the country, which is so cool. I like that part of it. Everybody's different.
And it's fun. It's a very, and
different religions.
And not everybody comes on the, we have a few of you who I know watch this, who are part of like the Knit Night crew who don't come on. We want you to join us. It's a very, very, very friendly and welcoming group.
Maybe they're busy.
They probably are.
Or they forgot.
But if you can join us, we'd love to have you join us. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it. That's a wrap. I need to pick a Rhinebeck sweater. That's my goal.
My Rhinebeck
you finish your Rhinebeck sweater. That's our goal. So
next podcast, I'm going to have made some, I'll show you now and then you can hold me accountable. Right?
I have a knitter who came back to me, or I don't know, I've never taught her before, but she does not finish things. So she signed up to do a sock class. And she said, because I'm going to make her accountable. So when she comes back, because her husband's turning 50 and she wants to make him a pair of socks. So she's coming back Monday and she's going to finish her sock. All right, let's see where you are. You have to put a progress keeper on there. Itchy, I must have gotten it. Maybe I'll have a puppy by the next podcast. We're puppy shopping. We officially went to look at one. So now I have baby fever again.
Yes, when normal people get baby fever, I got a puppy.
Well, I don't want a baby.
Nope. No babies. Okay.
I love babies. I just don't want one. Oh, it's so pretty. Love
the
it.
mosaic jumper modified, so it's just a yoke, and I'm there. But I'm kind of chubby, so I got to get it down to here.
Yeah, if we weren't chubby right there, we could do crop sweaters.
I can't.
We're built wrong.
I am so chubby.
We're chunky up top, and then our legs are fine.
Yep.
Which means you have to make your sweaters longer. Like tunics are good, like longer and then
Tunics
skinny
are
legs. But
primo.
we're like up here. But I like the girls that have like the smaller tops
Yes,
and then the
bigger
bigger butt.
bottom. That's what
They
I
can
want.
wear those cute crop sweaters with the cute
Yeah.
dresses. We can't wear that.
Can't do it. Too chubby.
Yeah, we're chubby in the middle.
Chubby, chubby.
You have to be, what is it, a pair?
Yes.
They look
Parachute.
so good.
So I wish I was a parachute.
You're close though.
I'm close.
I think, look, I think we're at the same spot.
You have bigger boobs than me, though, so
I
yours
do.
has to go
I do
farther.
have much bigger boobs.
So here's our progress. Ready? Maybe YouTube will pick it as a thing. I know that the good YouTubers do plan theirs, but
Yes,
I enjoy the randomness of
when
what
they
pick.
I think they picked the one when you kind of pause.
Ready?
Though. Like, maybe it'll pick it. Maybe it won't. I don't know. All right.
I bet somebody's sitting there like, these two jerks. I would make that stupid one. So hopefully I'll get off Body Island.
You will. That's our goal. All right.
Okay.
Next podcast.
We got to be farther
You have to
along.
be farther along, and I need to have a sweater picked and started.
And not eat a bug.
Protein.
Well, that was a big one over there.
If we were
They're
on
just
a,
mosquitoes,
wait,
I
if we were on
promise.
alone, we'd be like eating these bugs. Be like, nice protein. Okay. All right.
nuts.
Time to go.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Later, everybody.
We'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye.